Al Getler, publisher of the Eagle Tribune. We have a segment today that is really interesting. I went to a workshop at Merrimack College just right up the street from the Eagle Tribune and saw the author of this book talk about his book, How to Think Like a CEO and Act Like a Leader. Michael F. Andrew is the author. Mike is with us here today. Mike, welcome to the Eagle Tribune.
Pleasure to be here, Ralph.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Tell us a bit about what leadership is, what is a leader, and a little bit of background on the book.
Well, as you know, there's thousands of books written about leadership, and I'm in the leadership development business, so my mind got boggled trying to define leadership. But when I attempted to write the book, I attempted to define leadership. And probably, in my opinion, the best concise one-line answer I can give on leadership is a person who achieves results consistently, but does so with integrity.
So a leader doesn't have to be the big boss of a company. I mean, the leader can be a department manager, the leader could be a volunteer, the leader could be in any facet of life.
Absolutely. The book is really geared to anybody that works for a living. You don't have to be a high-powered executive. And acting like a leader is all about the day-to-day practical things we can all do to be more successful in our business life and our personal life.
Now, I'm hearing a little hint of Boston area. You from the Boston area?
I grew up in Arlington.
Okay, so you're a local guy, Suffolk University MBA, but now an international consultant. So it's you bring a lot of experience to this. So in the book, one of the chapters, I think the first chapter, is handle issues coldly and people warmly. What do you mean by that?
That's it's so hard in business to be candid and to be honest with people. People are our greatest asset. So if they are our greatest asset, we got to be honest with them. And people oftentimes are afraid to be candid, to deliver the tough message, to return that tough phone call. And the point there is you can deal with the issue head on, directly, straightforward, but you can do so in a respectful manner. They're not mutually exclusive. And the example I give is Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan. Tip being Democrat, liberal, Speaker of the House. Reagan was a conservative Republican president. Those two vehemently disagreed with each other, vehemently. But at the end of the day, they were great buddies because they dealt with the issue coldly, but they treated each other respectfully.
And for the benefit of the outcome. I think they had that relationship.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Another chapter, I absolutely love the theme of this chapter. Ask questions like Columbo.
Yeah, have the wisdom of Columbo. That's the dumb question. And those of you that are listening, and you all, if you all remember Columbo on TV, the killer always thought he had the wool pulled over Columbo's eyes because Columbo would ask these dumb questions.
Right.
But Columbo had the confidence to ask those dumb questions. And I would give the example, when I got my MBA, the number one thing it did for me, it gave me confidence to ask a dumb question, because if I don't understand something, I'm not dumb. None of us are dumb.
Right.
So have confidence to ask that dumb question, as silly as it may seem, because chances are people are going to say, well, that was a great question. I should have asked that question, or I wanted to ask that same question.
So on that theme, one more question. You say leaders serve. Now, we don't think of leaders as servants. We think of leaders as, the boss. What do you mean by leaders serve?
Well, that gets into the difference between leadership and boss-ship.
Right.
Okay? Bosses probably serve themselves. They're self-serving. Leaders, to me, serve the greater good. The greater good of the organization, the greater good of their constituents, the greater good of their stakeholders. And we're talking employees, stockholders, customers. So it's serving the greater good. You're in business to serve and provide a service. That's how you make money. That's how you stay in business. So it's all about serving versus self-serving.
Right. And I also you handle in this book that strategy, which is of course the direction a company is going to go, and execution really in some cases are pretty far apart. Companies have great strategies but not necessarily executing. So you define that as results. It really are the things that define how well a company is performing.
Exactly. Matter of fact, the title of that chapter is, if every company has a winning strategy, then why doesn't every company win? And it comes right down to execution. Now, we can get into a whole long discussion about how to effectively execute, but a big part of effective execution is effective leadership.
Yeah, great. You end the book with a final thought, and you quote a friend of yours, which I think is fascinating. Could you tell us about that?
Well, my best friend growing up from Arlington is Mark Sullivan, and Mark is the current director of the United States Secret Service. He's very impressed. I'm very impressed, and I'm very proud of Mark. And Mark was invited to speak at the St. Anselm's graduation, where he graduated, and at Arlington Catholic High School graduation, where we both graduated. And one of his themes was quoting St. Francis de Sales, which, as you know, was, you taught me, he's the
patron saint of journalists.
Patron saint of journalists. And the quote is, be who you are and be it well. And that's what I try to come out with the book is be who you are and be it well. That's why I try to make the book full of practical insights.
Yeah, and it really is a very, very good practical book. The title of the book is How to Think Like a CEO, Act Like a Leader. Mike Andrews, the author. Mike, thank you very much. Mike, tell us quickly, if you want to buy the book, where do you buy it?
You can go on Amazon, Amazon.com, and just click in How to Think Like a CEO and Act Like a Leader and buy the book.
Outstanding. Good. Let's support a local author. I'm Al Getler, publisher of the Eagle Tribune. Thanks for joining us.